some people, and that makes their outside appearance worse. Because, like, there was this one dude that everyone was like, oh my god, he's so cute. And then I was see it. You know what I'm talking about.
Like, because that, and that's just like,
yeah.
Yeah, but luckily, from my experience anyway,
Really?
yeah.
That's good.
I'm not afraid. I'm not. You take a stand. Everybody, everybody.
Because it's only, yeah, it's not even 300 pages. I should have read this in one day.
Yeah. Well. It took me a month to read the first Lord of the Rings book.
That's not surprising. It's very. I had a friend. There was one book that he liked, but then and he can't find the key, so he's not been able to read the book all the way through. So the one book he's ever liked by himself. I think that's kind of sad.
It's kind of funny as well. Have you seen the new Justice League? Because
Sonic show they were making that
no,
just really weird.
Thing about it.
All right, but tell me about the Justice League.
It's actually because Bruce Wayne is just sitting in Barry Allen's. Who are you? The one person in the world who doesn't know who Bruce Wayne. And then, like, he kind of looks like John Mulaney is supposed to. Or at least the show one does, I think. The show one looks like John Mulaney. I think the movie one doesn't. But then he goes like, oh, I'm Bruce Wayne, don't you know who I am? And he's either lying, it just to, seem cool, or he was lying to a before, or he just wasn't sure that it was Bruce Wayne. He's like, oh, yeah, that's what I thought, or something like that. And then, Bruce Wayne, he's a you got the wrong guy. He's like, oh, really? And he just chucks a batarang at him. And he goes, he's like, yeah, I'm the kid that, he's like, now? It's like a simplified version of it because it's been a while since I've seen it. He's like, yeah, can I keep this? It's hype. I think that you're gonna like Suicide Squad though.
Yes.
Mr. J's in it. Favorite villain.
Yes, I like the Riddler the best because I like intellectual villains. Because I like that he's like a lawyer. And it's just like, he's a very tortured soul, which is kind of sad, but he's just like a perfectly twisted villain, and it's amazing.
Well, he's like, in some versions he's the DA, in other versions he's the mayor, but in every phase he's always running for office. And he's like the last good guy in Gotham. That's
Right.
like his story. Every time Harvey comes up, Batman's like, you know, Harvey could be this guy that saves Gotham, and to a point where we don't need Batman anymore. And I guess a bunch of other people know this, and they always try to do something to him, and it always ends with
Half of his
yep.
face and body being burned.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really sad.
Looks awesome.
But see, I like the Riddler because, like, he used to work for, like, I think it was the FBI, and he was, like, super smart and intelligent. And I can't remember what happened to him.
He probably wasn't, you know, they probably didn't him enough.
Okay, but
so,
just because you're a narcissist.
Purely for attention. What he's doing is pure attention. That's all he ever wants. And this bone-breaking qualities, there have been a few comics where it reveals that he does care about these people that he's beating up. Like, he does care about the Joker getting, you know, better mentally. And I just think that's really sweet. I like that side of Batman.
See, my brother said that he thinks that villains are just what Batman doesn't want to become. Like, he doesn't want to lose touch of what sanity he has, like the Joker and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that theory, but it does hold some water.
Yeah. Is that Alfred, that all the villains are just Alfred in costume, trying to make Batman feel better.
Weird theory, but it could explain why none of them are ever, like, killed. Then again, wouldn't, like, whatever injury Batman gives to the villain show up on Alfred?
Well, it's like, it's just supposed to be funny, I think. Or
Yeah. It's a peculiar theory, to say the least.
I don't know. I don't. My favorite versions are like the Gotham Alfred and the Dark Knight Alfred, just because I like the act. He was awesome. You know, he brought to the character. You know, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he's Alfred's. He was like just perfect for it. The reason I like the Gotham Alfred is that, like, he cares so much about Bruce that, like, he screams at him when he does. I just feel like that shows how much Alfred really does care about the boy. Yeah.
He's his caretaker.
Yeah.
But most of my Batman knowledge is from.
Oh yeah, that's a good game. That's a good game. That's.
And see, I haven't played Arkham Asylum yet, but like, instead of saying I'm gonna go play video games, he says I'm gonna go be Batman.
Yeah, of course.
Hello?
Yeah. I just got ran over.
Oh, there's a thumbtack on the floor. That's not safe.
Like, they're at the gun store with a tank.
Feeling so starting
Does the abandoned jet have enemies on
Okay,
it?
sorry about that.
His name is
My,
Michael Caine, by the way.
okay, but my mom came in. I muted because I didn't think everyone on the podcast want to hear that. But you know how I said that my aunt and grandma were going to stop by sometime today.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to show up till like about 1. But apparently my cousin decided she didn't want to go to Florida because of the Zika virus, and so I have to like clean the upstairs. So 1, but I just have to vacuum and clean the bathroom, so it shouldn't take me too long.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's sorry about that. Just had some stuff to take care of.
I'm gonna just run over.
But yeah, that's how my family. Barbie, who's older than my dad, and my Aunt Fee, who is younger than my dad, and some really African names, because it's Garvey and Deborah, and their children are Xavier, Kaya, and Jair. And then my Aunt Fee, her children are Nigeria, Suleiman, and Akil. And then my dad is Amon.
Okay.
And his children are Shaina, Devon, and then Chris and Lily. So, black names in my family.
I just looked it up. Suicide Squad comes out tomorrow.
It does?
Yes.
Because we get Hot Topic catalogs because my mom ordered my Doctor Who diary online. Hot Topic brochures sometimes, and the last one we had Suicide Squad outfits, and like I love this. This is my favorite page ever. I stared at it for much longer than I'd like to admit, but I can't wait to see Suicide Squad. It's at 54%.
People really hate these DC movies, and apparently I just like bad movies. Because I like Batman vs. Superman, I like the new Ghostbusters. Like, with the new Ghostbusters, people are comparing it, and they're not comparing it to the second movie. Because it's like on par with the second movie, but it's not as good as the first.
Right.
Because people always talk about how bad the second one is. The second one's not all that bad. It's not as good as the first one, but it's not all that bad.
Right.
The new one's not all that bad either.
Mm-hmm.
And people... The reason they didn't like Batman vs. Superman is because it was too dark.
What?
It's a Batman movie!
That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
All that tells me is that there's more Superman fans than Batman fans reviewing.
Yeah.
Because Superman... Yes, I'm gonna save the day! Batman...
Yeah. Like, the people were gauging whether or not Batman vs. Superman was a good movie on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, Man of Steel was considered a good movie. And they gave it a worse... They said Man of Steel was worse than Batman vs. Superman.
Which one would you want more?
This doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
Tomatoes is just not extremely
Mine
reliable.
go fast.
It's not.
It's pretty much on par with Netflix ratings.
Why do the
If you look at
CSAT
Netflix
people
ratings,
so big?
almost everything has like 1 to 2 stars. Have like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
They're just
Who
not
puts
reliable.
Windows
It's
as
just a
big
bunch
on
of
the
random
hardware?
people telling their opinions, which is almost never reliable.
Well,
I say you should judge things for yourself.
Look at them.
You think it's a good movie? Like it.
Part of-
Someone else does. Oh well.
part of the problem with Batman vs Superman was that people who went to go see it, they liked superhero movies, but they didn't care for comics. I didn't know anything about the comics. I know a little. Perfect sense to me. And people are like, oh yeah, it doesn't make sense. That's because you don't know anything about DC. So I have the Superman thing going. I didn't even do that on purpose.
Come on.
Oh, I see
Not
the
a
swoosh.
turtleneck.
Yeah.
Look at the swoosh.
What?
You have the best hair.
Yep.
It's a hatchback.
Um,
Oh shoot! Stop.
but like, pretty much the whole.
Come on.
There are a bunch of thumbtacks on the floor. The whole, like, the parts of Batman vs Superman that no one understood was the whole. They're setting up for the best DC story. Crisis on Infinite Earths. They're setting up for that, and no one understands it.
Which is kind of sad.
And I feel like the show Gotham, The Flash, Arrow, they're all helping out with that. And that's really cool. I just can't wait to see like the Gotham universe meet like the movie universe. Guys, because that's pretty much the plot line. Supergirl, that show, she if they do like that plot line, she's gonna be the first person to die. She was in the comics. I don't know if they're gonna go like 100% accurate to the comics.
I hope so.
Oh my goodness! I broke my.
See, I've always wanted to read comics, but I've never been able to find it anywhere. Whenever I go to Barcelona,
You told me to read them.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna try reading comics on Saturday because
The
I'm
wheels
going
are
to
still
Barnes and Noble
moving.
with a friend at noon.
Sounds like fun.
Well, if you can
What are you
find
doing?
a way to drop by,
Probably.
sure, more than happy to
Oh.
be. All right,
Sold
but yeah, that's what I'm doing this week is podcast
disappeared.
with you, dealing with my cousin.
He was
And the
right
reason I say
here.
that is she's the kind of person my brother doesn't get along with because she's very pro civil rights movement and like Black Lives Matter.
What are you
And
doing?
my brother, she's blocked him on
The car is
Facebook about
fine.
13 times. Living with the two of them.
I'm not saying that Black Lives don't matter or anything like that,
Like they
but
do.
like
It was right here.
that
This guy.
supports all that stuff. They've kind of become a terrorist group.
To like wage
Yeah.
a war
But
They're
with
bet-
the police force.
About it. Like
Exactly.
like for example, the man who made it possible for them, for like, I guess I can say like you, since you're part black, for you to be able to go to school with people like me.
Because my parents would not have been allowed to be together.
Yeah. They are like disgracing MLK's memory.
These weapons take
They
time.
could do exactly what he did, and it would probably work, but it's only painting a worse picture of them.
Exactly. I
They
agree.
Oh, there's heroin.
if they just start reacting peacefully, I think everything would work out a lot better for them.
I was walking around.
Yes, but as soon as that
Got it.
policeman was shot at that
We need to
rally
sell
and
it.
those policemen were killed, I knew it was pretty much just like a small civil war created by people that don't know how to solve a problem.
Exactly.
Like, you're trying, and I get that, and I support you for trying, but please, if it's not working, stop pushing. Find another way that works.
Exactly. It's...
If you keep running into a brick wall, all you're going to do is get bruised or go around it.
Yeah. Just not doing what they should be doing.
Right. Exactly. You have a good cause, you just need to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
Use them.
So, like, see all of these people, I don't want to say wasting their time, because they're not,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
just, like, making a problem worse by trying to make, you know
Exactly.
what I mean? Like, that makes me very sad.
Yeah. Like,
I read them pretty good.
they have become what feminazis are. They
Yes.
they talk about wanting equality, but what
Want
they
is revenge.
yeah, or they say they want equality, but what what they say is revenge. When has that ever worked out, though?
It hasn't.
I told them, you should have let me
And
drive.
that's the problem. Like, I don't like
You're going all over the road.
people like feminazis that, like, say they push for equality but actually push for revenge, because you can't be upset with somebody for
No wonder
being,
you
like,
went in the back.
for oppressing you or, like, you know, stomping you down, and then say, I want to do that to you.
Mine.
Because if it makes you angry enough to want to say
car was
something,
no
you
match.
shouldn't want to do it to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And that really bugs me. So when I say that I,
You
like,
blew up my
want
front wheels,
equality
though.
for all people, I mean equality. Everyone's equal. Everyone is human.
I got hurt.
And that's what matters to me. And it just frustrates me to see the world how it is. Because I'm a very hearted person, and I don't like to see all this war and disagreement for stupid reasons.
Even though, like, I always get these two mixed up, the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. I want to say it's the Constitution. It says, even though it says all men are created equal, that's not what they meant. They don't mean all specifically men.
Right.
They mean all human.
Exactly. As in mankind.
Yes.
Hey, come here.
Exactly.
I'm so glad you understand basic things.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying, like, that anymore just because
Oh my goodness.
they didn't do anything about
Butterflies.
slavery when they had the chance. There's a good reason for that. They wanted to bring the country together, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll deal with that later. Slavery, but we'll deal with that later."
Because they didn't want to start a new country
Let me
with
drive. I can still
disagreement. First,
music thing.
establish their own place and then
Everything's
solve
blurry.
problems when they could.
Yeah.
And some of the people that were, like, helping to create the country had slaves themselves.
What
Because
does
if
it
you think
look
about it,
like
that's
to you?
just how life
'Cause we're doing
was.
different things.
Yeah.
Then you didn't have a choice.
Mine.
I saw this video.
Stuff
It
everywhere.
was
There's
of
people walking
a
around.
black man saying this, and he
There's, like, floaty things and music.
he hit the nail right on the head with this whole thing,
It's like
and he was funny when he did it. Dad,
Just let me drive because I can still see.
kind of funny. I don't know. It depends on your perspective. He's like,
Or,
y'all saying, I hear a bunch of people saying y'all want to go to Africa. Well, go ahead and go to Africa, but I'm staying
I think
here.
that was worth it.
He's like, because y'all ain't gonna have to worry about the police shooting you in Africa, because there ain't no police. You get, he's like, you get your husband whack you upside the head, you just get whacked upside the head. You get shot, you just get shot. I'm sorry, that's just how it is.
Right.
He's like, y'all blaming the white man for everything. The white man is the whole reason that you're even in America at the moment. He's like, y'all saying that the white man's horrible for doing slavery and all that. Well, the white man, the Europeans, they came over and they traded the hog for you. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. He's like, it's called the slave trade. It was a legitimate thing. He's like, it wasn't white men grabbing black people, just chaining them up and all that. It was black people chaining up black people. and selling
Unfortunately, that
them.
is true. And actually, there was a law in Africa that said that, like, Caucasian people and African people couldn't correspond. Like, they couldn't walk near each other. Like, they were segregated. In Africa.
Is that a guy right there?
It's not
Right
just
there.
America that struggles with. There's been slavery all over the world, all different races. I mean, Germans were, I think it was Germans were taken as slaves long ago. I mean, you had ancient Greece. There's always struggles with slavery and human trafficking. That always happens. It's not just in America, and it's not just with black people.
Exactly. Something that bothers me though is
Come on, you don't
that
have to do this.
if I don't how their personality is, how they, not like that person because they're black. If I don't agree with it either, but that's just kind of something
Come on, man.
that just kind of happens. If I say that I didn't like a specific black guy, he starts yelling that I'm a racist.
Right, and I hate that. That bugs me.
I got him.
Because just like there's a difference between finding somebody attractive and crush on them, there's a difference between not liking a person and not of how they look, who they love, or like that sort of thing. There's a whole nother section that's missing. And luckily I don't have that, so I've never had to experience what that's like.
Yeah.
But my brother, even though
I was
he's
sitting there
also
talking to him like, "Don't
half
kill
white
me.
and half black, he
You don't have to do
looks
this."
Caucasian. So, like, he
He got
gets
stopped and he was waiting on
called
the driver's
racist
side
all the
door, so I
time.
switched to passenger and hopped out
But if
that
I
door.
was to say racist nowadays, is like it's thrown around all the
I'm at the
time.
marina.
But racist is one way to hate an entire group of people for something
There's still
is arbitrary.
Exactly.
And there's a difference between not liking a person and not liking a race, and that bugs me.
Yeah.
Because throwing the word racist around isn't going to stop people from being racist. It's not even going to like help other people to not be racist. Does that make sense? Because if you push it down your throat that you can't bother people because they're black, eventually they're just going to become hostile towards African Americans because to them they just pick fights with them, and that's not helping. We went from talking about sneezing to comic
That'd be up
books
at the
to
gun
racism.
or no.
Okay.
That's down towards the hill 100.
All right then.
There's got to be somebody on the road down there, probably.
Can you believe we've already been talking for an hour and 15 minutes?
Oh, sweet.
It feels like we've been talking
I
for
don't know
like
what
20 minutes.
I'm heading up to that gun store.
It kind of does.
Still there. If you can get that.
Whenever I heard that song when I was a kid, it meant that I was staying up late. Because
I love the people there.
as I said, I was allowed to, watch TV on weekends when I went to bed. And Pink Panther was one of those shows that come on
There's
at like 9 or 10, and that was like crazy to stay up and
And
watch
it's
it.
unlocked. It's mine.
It's crazy.
Oh, it's all broken. Never mind. I must have hit it with the time.
But I like
I was shooting up
a
here.
kitty, and I love kitty. So funny.
On time.
Just Johnny Depp. He's my first celebrity crush. Childhood.
Well, if you think that's weird, my mom has like a crush on not Ryan Reynolds, but Deadpool.
Same.
Or
Who
maybe
doesn't? Small crush on Deadpool though.
maybe it is Ryan Reynolds, but she loves Deadpool. Like I took her to go see it, or she took me to go see it because I wanted to see it, and she had seen the trailer. And then we went to go see it, and as we're walking out, my mom goes, "You know, I've never been able to choose a favorite superhero, but now, no problem."
I can see everything.
And my mom's Steam is like a 8-bit Deadpool, and like she bought the Deadpool movie like on the Xbox just so she can watch it whenever she wants to.
Oh, I completely understand.
But like seeing that movie in the theaters, it started rolling. I was like,
Can you see that?
no way, no. It's been.
I can't tell the
Right.
difference between global and
I'm just glad.
colors are usually different.
I really had to go to the bathroom.
But have you like seen?
Ferris Bueller.
And then he's just like, "What are you still doing here? Go."
You have seen the Ferris Bueller movie, right?
Yeah, I've seen it before.
But it's good.
Yeah. YouTube. I was like,
Yep.
yeah, that makes sense.
It's like I could remember what he was saying. Like his words were.
And, on like, they did this thing where at the end of the features, they would put that Deadpool end credits sign at the end. What are you doing? If I can't properly like imitate someone's voice, I can do like the way that they talk.
Yes. Like you become that person for a split second.
Yeah. One thing that I do, reference that no one gets, even people who've seen the movie like 100 times, no one gets it.
A guy is literally sitting there.
I can't remember the exact
Waiting
song
at the
that where there's some music playing because they're trying to sneak into a concert. They're wanted by the police, and they're like walking like that, like to the music, and then like a cop almost spots them. And they do it again, and then eventually they.
There's a
Or whatever. Like the whole movie is they're actually trying to save an orphanage from getting shut down. They're trying to raise a bunch of money. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was they did to get wanted by the police. I just remember one of the first things, like the great things they did, was they floored it. Like they were, and you know it was holding up traffic, so they just kind of like went around traffic. They got in and they. And of course, not want to get hit by they didn't. We're gonna get them Blues Brothers, but the movie's on Netflix. Whenever you get a chance to watch it, but it's also really funny. Yeah, it's hilarious. Just everything that is just insane. Oh, now I remember what we did to get wanted by the police. I think they were speeding, and they weren't gonna pull, so they went through a mall.
Air support. See if you
That would get you wanted.
please don't crash. Please don't crash. Please don't get shot.
And there were 2 cop cars after them, and I don't remember. I think one went into a store and got stuck like a store, and the other got flipped upside down.
Wow.
Family Guy made. Fine, Peter. And they do it. They recreated the entire scene.
That's awesome.
Did somebody shoot it? I see it, I think.
I randomly just stuck in my head.
Gas station. No.
Bear traps and hand grenades and your face. Don't give it to you. X don't give it to you.